I remember my Bhagwan called my wife and I for an interview. And as we entered the room, he looked at me and then he looked at my wife and he said, wife, W-I-F-E, worry invited forever. So my wife, she turned around and said, it could also be wisdom invited forever. And Swami laughed it off. You know, Swami was a man with an exceedingly nice sense of humor. And I don't know whether he planted the jokes to get the other person out of the groove. We were in Whitefield at that time. And Swami has a fantastic sense of humor, and he also realized when another person was fooled, but he didn't want the other fellow to feel that Swami had seen through him. There was this foreigner of ours, all of us did our pranam to Swami and walked into the interview. This fellow standing out there, he waved his hand and he said, hi, Swami. And Swami waved his hand and said, hi. It was, for us, it was something very surprising. There's one other thing that comes to my mind. I had taken my grandchildren, two of them, to Swami. And there was my wife, my daughter, my son-in-law, my two grandchildren, and there was another couple there. And I was sitting just at his feet near his chair in the interview room in Purapati. And I don't know what Swami did to these children. Suddenly they started jumping around and they're hiding behind the curtain and, Swami joking with them and one thing and another. They were about 6 years and 4 years old or something like that. And they were mischievous, and I was sweating away because I said, Swami, any moment will tell us to go out of the room. But that wasn't there. Then Swami said, calm down. Calm down. You see, Swami did these things with a very deep sense of understanding. And this, I must mention these two children. They are British citizens. And my grandson excelled in Cambridge for the King's College. He was a topper. He got into one of the top concerns. My granddaughter is another one who is a topper in physics. These are blessings of Swami. Out of my twin sons, one of them, he's also grown up to be a very worldly man, and God has given him more than any human being should have. So I can't deny that. I took him for the interview, and we were there for a week. And I remember on the very first day of the interview, there were 6 times Swami called us. Swami first told them, keep your mind clean, keep your mind clean. And then Swami went and produced a watch. Because my son has said that if you're God, you produce a watch like my father has got. It wasn't this watch, it was another watch. He'd given me 3 watches. Then he again got the watch. After that, the second interview, he asked for the ring. And like this, he kept asking for things that Swami gave him and materialized. So the fact is that Swami, sitting opposite you, knew exactly what is going on in your mind. And if he didn't want you to ask a certain question, he stopped you. Not by words, but he stopped you mentally. I don't know how he did that, but he did. You see, I was an absolute non-vegetarian. I couldn't do without eating flesh. And then one day it occurred to me, and I suddenly decided to give up eating non-vegetarian. And I went very happily to Sai Baba in the interview room. I said, Bhagwan, I become a vegetarian. And Bhagwan said, Suri, not important what goes into the mouth, important what comes out. At that time, I had a foul tongue. I did not hesitate in losing my shirt and abusing people. And it's taken me many years, but now I'm very, very careful. never want to. And Swami put you to test. In Puttaparthi, there was a police commissioner, former police commissioner. I was the chief of the Air Force, retired. Of course, my protocol was much higher. But instead of entering through that main gate, we went to the center gate, and that fellow, the Seva over there, stopped me. So then he asked who he was. He told him he was a police commissioner, which was much lower in rank than. And he said, "Who are you?" pointing to me. So I said, "I'm the former chief of the Air Force." "What is that?" He said, "You can't enter from this gate," and he pushed me out. Swami was testing my ego. Swami tests you every second moment. Because if I had lost my shirt and told him that I am so-and-so, protocol-wise, then I would have become a prey. But I don't know what happened. I thought correctly and I just went away. You know, when Swami had taken ill, or may I suggest when Swami wanted to show that he was subject to illness, and that time he was hospitalized, and there were three of us who were adamant to sit on the same floor of the hospital where Swami was hospitalized. They were Michael Goldstein, Mr. Kalyan Ray, who was the president of the West Bengal, and myself. And we used to sit there every morning and carry on till the afternoon. Then we would come for lunch and again go back over there. And so it went on. And every day we were told that Swami was getting better or this. I do not know how correct the statement is or not. But I know one thing, that I had returned to Delhi. Michael Goldstein had gone away to America, and Kalyan Ray had gone back to Kolkata. At that time, when I was sleeping, something told me in a loud voice that I have gone. Suri, I have gone. I woke up, and obviously first thing is to your life partner, wife was the next. I said, this is a funny kind of thing. So Michael Goldstein I had known was coming that night from USA. So I rang up Michael Goldstein, and he had already landed in Bangalore, and he had got into the taxi for Puttaparthi. I asked him, I said, "Michael, any news about Swami?" So he said, don't worry, if the moment I get to Puttaparthi, tomorrow morning I will know and I'll let you know. This must have been 2:30 or 2:45 in the morning or something like that. Then I rang up Kalyan Ray and I woke him up in Kolkata. I said, "Any news on Swami?" He says, "Why sir, are you asking this question at this part of the morning?" So I said, "This is a kind of a dream I've had, or something that, a voice that I heard." He said nothing. Next morning, of course, we were told what is the reality. Now, what I'm saying is that whatever time has been given of his departure, that's a different matter. That's nothing to do with me. I have only said what Swami did, because I looked at my watch immediately after that. It was 2:30 in the morning. He said, "I've gone." Why Swami told me at 2:30 in the morning that I've gone, that is Swami's wish. But the fact of the matter is that I realized that Swami felt, in spite of my shortcomings, in spite of my having lived a life which was too materialistic and not behaved in the manner that I should have under the dharma of my faith that I was practicing. But he had forgiven me, and that Swami loved me. That's what I got, and that today. And when you know that somebody loves you, then it becomes very difficult not to love that person extremely. And every day I sit in my puja room, which I call my temple. And I talked to Swami mentally. I talked to him, and even I spoke to him this morning, and I mentioned this, having this interview. Please speak through me. That's all. You know, some of the dreams that I've had have been, I can't explain. Somewhere 4 in the morning, I wake up having felt that Swami had kissed me on the cheek. And the cheek was wet. And I woke up my wife. I said, this is what's happened, just see this. Of course, my wife is not given into Swami the way I am given into knowing who he is, or with the belief, firm belief. And then I remember another incident. I had got this herpes on the face, and it was from the eye downwards, and that could be a disastrous thing. For one, you could lose your eyesight. And the second thing, of course, is the ugliest thing to happen on your face. But I had a dream, and Swami said, come to Puttaparthi. So without any further ado on the subject, I went to Puttaparthi. And when I went to the Samadhi, and I was about to pray, the curtains were opened and we were permitted to go. I somehow did this and I found nothing there. So I asked the person next to me, I think, is there something on my face over here? Something bothering? Yeah, I can't see anything. I said, any kind of boil or anything? Nothing there. Go on. You see, it depends on your faith. And this is true in any kind of a relationship. If your faith is not complete, it doesn't materialize. And believe you me, if ever somebody told me, have you seen God? I would say, Bhagwan Sathya Sai Baba. You see, when I was in the Air Force, they're the smallest room because I had my mother and sister staying with me. My wife and I, they would be. Then my 2 girls, Shalini and Marni, and Arvind and Ashwin, the twins. So there were 4 bedrooms straight away. So the smallest room I had Krishna Bhagwan's murti over there and maybe 1 or 2 others. And I think it might have been 1 Shivling from wherever I got it. And that was all. I remember Dr. Karan Singh. He came to my house and I took him there to a prayer room. And he was telling me, he of course called me by first name, he said that, you know, Nirmal, I think we should have only one deity. That's what he told me. So I said, well, this is how would I pray. When I went to Puttaparthi, in the talk, and Swami said that all that you all have is what is given by me. And then you push me in the smallest vacant room that you've got, which you cannot use for any other purpose, you put me. So the very first thing I did after this house was complete, I shifted Swami, took the largest room upstairs, and I made a temple which exists today. And I feel much the richer for it, I may feel much the happier for it. And it is a fact that what Swami said as his previous incarnation as Shirdi Baba and later as Sathya Sai Baba, he said that if you are my devotee, each member of your family will be looked after. I vouch for it. We had COVID here. My family is looked after. Every way is looked after. My grandson gets temperature of 101.8. And I go to my mandir and I say, Bhagwan, please help. Next morning, no fever. Now, there's so many instances, I just can't quote. Swami knew that I worshipped him, maybe from previous births also, as Krishna. And so one day he came in my dream, and early in the morning he takes my little finger and he drags me to my puja room, where there is a murti of Krishna. It's the largest kind of a murti, and he merges into it. It is not only this When I went to Shirdi Baba's ashram, I was posted in Pune in a younger rank as a commander there. And I used to go there often enough because there was something that was bothering me. And the moment I walked to that place, a laminated photograph of Shirdi Baba was flooded with Amrit inside the lamination. This has happened so many times. One has to understand there is something like spirituality. There's something like God. It's a force. It may be the universal consciousness, or it may be any other form that you look at it. But in life, whenever a dharma takes root to the deepest level, there will be a manifestation of one such figure. Whether it was Shirdi Baba, it may be this. Maybe Jesus Christ. I don't know. He gave me those assignments over there because he told even Michael Goldstein that Suri is there. But the fact of the matter really is he never mentioned, other than the fact that Suri, you do not have to go to temples because I am with you always. And I feel he's with me always. I mentioned to him, I said, Bhagwan, I am not able to meditate. He says, Suri, meditation not for you. Then after a little while he said, I will control your mind when the time comes. I've completed 89, I'm still waiting for the time to come. So I don't know in which birth it will happen. I don't know. We, people who have been born in the era where we were able to experience Shirdi Baba or Bhagwan Sathya Sai Baba, we are very, 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 very fortunate because he has shown us the way by which we can get through this evil aspect of our sanchita karma. So sanchita means the overall cosmic debt. How do we get out of it? Bhagwan has tried to groom us, and he's groomed many of us by giving experiences depending on our intellectual level. Because some of us have felt that, look, I don't believe this because I haven't seen it, so Swami has to drop to that low level of trying to show him something. Now finally, I would like to mention to the younger generation, particularly, we are living in a highly materialistic world. Highly materialistic world has certain essential characteristics. One is he to himself and God for all. That means you have no fellow feeling, nothing at all. And you do whatever you are to excel. And amazingly, even today, all of us want to send our children to schools where they can have a name to back them up so that they can get better jobs, earn more. The emphasis on money, but the reality is you come naked and you go back naked. You have nothing that you can take with you. So why this emphasis? Except you can take your collection of your karmas. And the karmas can be reduced by only one method, and that is by sharing love. So to you young people, I would like to say that Bhagwan has emphasized that, look, I am not asking you to be spiritual because you are actually not human beings trying to be spiritual, but you are spiritual beings trying to be human. It's the humanity that is what we have to focus on and what should be our actions in our dealing with people. Bhagwan is very specific on this, that he is a witness. He'll give you all the love in the world, but what you reap will be what you sow, and that's your karma. Life from birth to death is like a huge mass of water flowing in an uncontrolled manner over Earth's surface. And in its wake, it brings death, devastation, and destruction. So God put two banks to it, and these two banks ensured that the water went in a controlled manner and went on flowing so without causing destruction and yet fertilizing the land that abuts it. And therefore, it was able to sustain with this fertility, not only the vegetable kingdom or the animal kingdom, but also the human kingdom. So Sai Baba's message to us, which you need to remember and your parents need to also remember, like your children need to remember, that in life we have got to put two banks. Now, who's the person who going to help you put these two banks? It could be your parents, it could be the children emphasizing to the parents as to what is the dictum that they should follow. And so let us say that the parent says, all right, to my child, I'll put two banks on him. The first bank is that there is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one language, the language of the heart. And there is only one caste, the caste of humanity. And there is only one God who's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. The second bank is, Bhagwan Sai Baba has said, that pray to anyone that you wish. Call him by whatever name you wish. But pray assiduously. The very first thought that you get, follow it. Don't give it a second thought, because the second thought is yours and that will be wrong. The first thought is the voice of God. And with these words, may the blessings of God always be with each one of you, and may each one of you contribute to the society and to your nation to the best of your ability. Sai Ram.